Hello, everyone, and welcome to Comics News Today. And we're doing a special episode here. Of course, where I'm still in Tokyo, so live streaming from Tokyo. My name is Chester C. Busby III, and of course, I am joined by my wonderful panel. I have the Denali Lama with me. How you doing today?
Hello, Chester. Hey, everybody. How's everybody's doing? Aloha. Tokyo Comic Con. Woo!
Yes, absolutely, man. And of course, I'm joined by Thundaro, the mighty Lord of Lightning himself. How you doing, man?
Hello. I'm breathing. That's all I can ask.
This is true. Breathing is a good thing, dude. And we just got joined by Todd. How you doing, Todd?
Oh, I'm doing really good.
Yeah, nice. All right. Well, I'm doing great, dude. Actually, since you asked, yesterday I was over at the Tokyo Comic Con, and I did a little video over there and kind of did a walkthrough and let you guys look around it a little bit, and that was fun. And I'm going to do today. It'll be an odd hour for everybody, but I am going to do a live for the closing ceremony as well later today. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. You know, it was kind of interesting for me. I don't know if you guys have ever been to Comic Cons before. I'm sure you have. But it was my first time ever being to one. And my first day on the Friday, I was a little, I don't know, I guess underwhelmed because I went in and we were very late. And, just looking, what are we going to check out tomorrow and stuff. So it was good for that. But I was really shocked because it was a Comic Con and there was no comic books, like hardly any comic books. And I didn't get it. But I sat down that night and I just kind of said, well, it is what it is. So I went in yesterday with the attitude of just, this is what it is. It's a place where you got a lot of cosplayers and you're taking pictures and you're just enjoying the culture of the movies and stuff. And I went with that attitude and I had an absolute blast, man. It was a lot of fun. It is what it is. And as long as you understand that, you're going to have a good time. And it was really nice because one of the things I thought was cool about it was there was zero angst or stress or nonsense, zero. It was just happy people having a great time enjoying comic books culture. And so that was cool.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about your first video that did 30 over 3,000? Like, what was in it that you think, or that drew that many people to it? Was it Godzilla?
No, definitely. It's up to 4,300 now, by the way. But yeah. But no. What it was kind of interesting, right? Because I just started at the top of the stairs going into the con, and I just all I was doing was creating a walkthrough for our fans here, right?
Right.
That's all I was doing, right? And I showed my family, but I think I also taught because the way I titled it was live from Tokyo Comic Con. I didn't put anything about fan speak or anything like that. Just live from Tokyo Comic Con, and I just was doing a walkthrough for our fans. That's all I was doing, just showing everybody, hey, this is what it looks like and stuff. And I got about I don't know, 10 minutes or into the show, and I had a bunch of people say, Godzilla's on the stage, Godzilla's on the stage, go over the stage, go over the stage. I was, oh, okay. So, because I had a good rig set up, I didn't have the phone set up right because it's not my phone, it was my wife's phone, but I had a nice rig with the headphones set on, right? So I could have it where you guys could hear very clearly, but I could also speak very clearly and be heard over it. And I went up to the stage and we had the director over there and the number just started going tick, 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 tick. So I just stood there and held and translated everything that they were saying and stuff. And, but just the numbers got up to over 1,000 while I was taping. And it was cool, but it had to be Godzilla live from Tokyo Comic Con, I think was what caught a lot of people's attention. And then they were probably just sharing it out. Hey, Godzilla's on, and we got to see the new teaser, and yeah, people really enjoyed it. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I was pretty amazed by how many people that ended up at that video, even while you were on and after you were off. It's just, I don't know. I was like, wow. It's pretty cool, huh?
It was cool, and it was also cool because everyone was really nice. There wasn't anybody there trolling or being a jerk. Everyone was like, "Oh, thanks, man. This is cool. You're doing this." It was on and on and on. I know a lot of people worried about. We're saying, "Oh, I hope Toho doesn't take it down," but I don't see why they would, because it was an open stage. I had already gotten permission from the Comic Con to tape, So I was not doing anything, and I had guards right next to me, and they didn't care, right? I don't know why people were worried about that so much, but maybe it's an issue I don't know about. But yeah, it was cool. It was fun. I went by later because they had another little thing. They guys, oh, there's still stuff going on. I was like, no, guys, there isn't anything going on. They're just showing off some display stuff, and I'll get to that later, which I did. I went and took a bunch of pictures, and maybe today I'll do a little run video. But on Tuesday or Wednesday this week, I'm going to have to take all the little pieces I got this weekend and stitch them together in an upload video of the Tokyo Comic Con. So I'll have that in there for sure.
Now, you didn't get close to Bumblebee. Did you eventually get close to Bumblebee?
Oh, very close. I have pictures of my whole family in front of Bumblebee. I have pictures of walking Bumblebee. I have pictures of Bumblebee girls, which those are good pictures. I have, there's a lot. That's one good thing about Tokyo, I think, was there were a few foreign girls that maybe should not have been dressed the way they were, for the safety and mentality of other human beings. But the Japanese girls were rocking it. The cosplay over there was really cool, and they had one thing I thought was pretty interesting. It looked to me, and it's very Japanese to be honest with you, but they had, of course, a lot of booth babes all over the place, which is a thing. But they also had a lot of cosplayers, I think, that they brought in professionally. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that was really neat because you could get your picture taken with all kind of characters, and I was really interested to me because the depth of understanding of Western comic books that these Japanese had. I mean, I expected to see a lot of Iron Man, Spider-Man, Gwenpool, stuff like that, which I did, but I saw obscure characters too you wouldn't expect. And the absolute best character cosplay I saw all weekend is this guy that was dressed up as Rorschach. And of course, there were I saw 3 or 4 different Rorschachs, right? But this guy, he had the mask working, dude. I don't know how, but he had that mask working, and it was stellar. I mean, I actually told him good job, and I clapped for him, But yeah, I had a blast, man. It was a good time. It was not what I expected it to be, but it was absolutely awesome. And I'm very happy I went. And who knows, maybe I'll go and do it again. But I had a lot of fun with it. And actually, I was talking to Mike a little bit, and he was thinking about talking about going down and doing the Okinawa Comic Con, which I didn't even know that existed. Because in actuality, the Okinawa Comic Con would be closer for me than having to go clean across the country to Tokyo, right? Because I live way, for me, it's kind of like if you imagine someone that lived in Kentucky, like in some old holler up in the out in the woods in Kentucky. That's where I am, right? Going to Manhattan. So that's kind of the idea,
Now, one thing you could tell is your wife was just happy to be with the kids again, which was really cool. You could see that on her face.
Oh yeah, dude. She was very, very happy to have the kids. Very typical mom. And I've been doing that a lot. I drop little Japanese words here and there. I got to focus on my English. But
what a problem to have.
Yeah, well, it is a problem, dude, because you guys don't know those little things I'm dropping. But and focus. But yeah, no, my wife was very thrilled to have the kids over, and that's kind of the reason we brought them all over here so we could be together again. They've been at university for a few years now, so. But yeah, thank you for noticing. That was cool, dude. Oh wow, my wife is actually correcting me. She came over here and wrote me a little note, and she said there is no direct flight from Oita to Okinawa. It's far, actually. So basically, I would have to fly up to a northern city and then fly down to Okinawa. Well, that sucks.
That's silly.
That is silly. We could go down and just take the ferry across, though.
What about a rickshaw?
Yeah, I'm gonna rickshaw the ocean. All right. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that was interesting though that Denali had noticed that when I was doing the video yesterday, I was just going along and I was just translating away, but I really didn't even think about it because people were one person in the chat had said, "What are they saying?" And I was like, "Oh yeah," so I just started translating, directly. But I didn't even think about it, but I guess that was kind of a useful thing.
Yeah, because most videos that do Tokyo or any international with different languages, they don't translate your hearing to like what they're saying, to the point where like that actually was a good thing, and people kind of got to what was going on, and they felt, oh, nice. Now let's focus on everything else instead of trying to figure out what the people in panels were saying. I saw that you met the editor in chief of Marvel the other day.
Three times actually so far. 3 times, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I have to say one thing about CB Cebulski.
Mhm.
Even though we are all kind of upset that he didn't come in and fix things, and I think it's not necessarily as straightforward. And I think yesterday I should talk about that actually. Let me take a minute with that. The thing with CB, we all remember when he came in, we all had a lot of hope. We were hoping, all right, CB's going to come in here and fix some of it. I don't think any of us expected it to be completely rectified, all the little wishes we had, but we thought it would be some repair. And the only thing he really accomplished was improving the art a little bit.
Oh shit.
Thank you very much, ching ching, in the swear jar there, Todd.
Yeah.
But and of course, therefore we gave a lot of anger and frustration on the CB. But here's the thing: I don't think CB has as much authority as they want to present him as having. Right, for one, and two, the secondly. I could tell yesterday when I did that second video which is the CB Cebulski one, which they didn't take a Q&A. I guess they canceled it, which is probably smart. And the whole thing was about him. It was in a way trying to show him replacing Stan, is why they had so many pictures with him and Stan there. It was certainly a love fest created by him. But what it really showed me was his love of Japan, because he lived here for a long time, right? And that project that I showed a little bit of, and just I didn't show the whole interview because it doesn't matter to Western people. But that thing with DJ Love Song and his band, they're very popular here, but Westerners have have no idea, right? But it just shows a love of what he did, and I think what you saw yesterday was CB Cebulski doing what he loves. And I think when we see him other times, I think he's just doing what he's told. I got a feeling, because the dude was very professional. He was very kind. He was very friendly, very interactive. This is Tokyo, so it's a little different. You had, Tom Hiddleston just walking about, Peter Weller just walking about, Ezra Miller literally prancing and elfing about. I'm not lying. I'm not joking.
Yeah, we found videos of that later on.
But I'm saying you wouldn't see that at a Western Con. These guys are just walking freely, no security at all, nothing. Right, just walking about, people saying hi, shaking hands, and that's a cool thing about being in Japan, I think. But I think this weekend I'm still not happy that CB is not standing up stronger to the nonsense, and at least to pulling it back or reining it in a little bit. But I think I understand him a little bit better now. Because what I saw yesterday was CB in his element, really enjoying what he loves about comic books. And I got it. I get it a little bit. I think I understand it. I understand him more than I did the day before. But yeah, I did see him 3 times. Like I said, he was very cordial, very friendly, shook my hand, and he didn't have a soy boy handshake either. So I was that. Well, he didn't,
But
so.
I mean, his pseudonym, or the one that he went over before he became editor a year back, was under a Japanese name as well, wasn't it? Yeah,
it was. Yeah, it was. Yeah. But I mean, because I really think he loves Japan, and he's tried so hard to get Marvel into Japan, and he's failed really. Ultimately, get the comic book in, the culture, the movies, those kind of things have come to Japan. But the Japanese have their own manga, and they don't care about Marvel so much. But for him to be able to go in and do that kind of multimedia project that he's doing with that band. For Western people, it's like, what is that? A clown? What is going on here? But for Japanese people, that's a good step. It's a smart step. And I think that now that he's in charge, he knows how to bring Marvel into Japan. And before, he probably was getting stonewalled by a bunch of the execs who have no clue what Japan is. You can't just bring in Iron Man comic book and then go to work. You have to do it differently here with the manga style. And I think what you're seeing with that is CB making his first actual inroads into bringing Marvel comics into Japan. And that would be a huge market to open up, because you got to understand, whereas in the West, comics are failing incredibly, here in Japan, they're thriving, right? Yeah, I know I've kind of gone on about that a long time, but I think it's worth saying, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think he has the power everyone thinks he does. I think he's mostly just a figurehead.
I think so. Yeah.
Pretty
And
much. Yeah.
the reality is everything Disney owns turns to the exact same thing. The problem is Disney. It's not Marvel. Marvel will do what they're told
True.
by Disney.
True. Well, before we jump into the news real quick, let me just come over here, acknowledge our chat. Tank's in there going on and saying hello, and we have Dave over here as well. Hello, Dave. Nice to see you. We have Raven in here, of course. Merry Christmas, everyone. You do realize you're a month early. Okay. We have Draken in here saying hello. Zack Schneider is back. Oh, goodness. Be nice, Zach. Boo. Oh, goodness. All right. I'll let well, Thundara's in there, dude, Zach, so watch it. Some of us work for good. We have the Burning One. Hello, Chester and others. Well, hello. How you doing, Burning One? And let's see. We got anyone else? Oh, John Diller's in here. And Pinche Pinche. That's funny. But cool. All right, I've caught up to it. So welcome everybody in chat, and I'm glad you guys are here. And don't forget to hit that like button and share. That lets everyone know what we're doing. But Denelli, go ahead, man. Take us into the news, man.
All right. For the first one we have, it's from comicbook.com. The Rocksteady developer once again confirms they're not working on the Superman game.
Yeah.
So basically, this is it. A lot of rumor were coming out a couple weeks and then a couple years ago, and one of the developers that are going forward, which is the co-founder and game director Safton Hills, said, looking forward to going to the Games Award this year. When it's ready to show you, you'll be the first to know it's not Superman.
So it's probably Justice League.
Probably Justice League.
Yeah.
I mean, or other properties as well. But again, they're reconfirming again, it's not Superman. It's because Superman is a hard game to make. How can you make a compelling Superman game without weakening him, so to speak?
Yeah, no. Yeah. They've tried in the past and they've had various levels of failure. Well, it's true, dude. I mean, one of the worst video games ever made was the Superman game, right?
Yeah.
But
we'll never get a good Superman game. I've pretty much given all hope on it.
Yeah. Probably not.
And
but it is funny how every few months or so rumors just happen to leak out about Rocksteady doing Superman, and then they come out with a statement saying they're not doing Superman. It seems a little convenient for me, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I think it's probably in the works. They're probably trying to figure how to make it work, but they're not ready for it. I mean, first you have to deal with the flight mechanics of having Superman go weave through buildings, if it's going to still be on Earth or it's going to be out of space. But I think everybody wants a Superman on Earth first kind of deal. Mm-hmm. Then you're going to deal, it's like, how do you hurt the Man of Steel without like shooting kryptonite bullets, into him?
Yeah, it's a problem. But I definitely think it's probably Justice League something or another, and Superman's part of it. Yeah. Or maybe, you know what might be cool? Let's speculate for a second. What if you had the oddball Justice League, and they're having to fight a corrupted top five? The Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Batman kind of stuff, and you're trying to deal with them as the enemy. That would be a cool game.
Okay, so what? Justice League Dark.
something
Dark
like that.
fighting,
Yeah.
fighting the
Well,
League of
I was
Villains or something like
I
that.
can't remember the name of it, but you remember that what if or Elseworld story they did where they went to
Mhm.
another Earth and they were all evil. Had their names
Yeah,
were slightly different. I
yeah.
can't remember the.
Ultraman,
Yeah, yeah,
Superwoman,
yeah, yeah. That.
Owlman.
Yes.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking
Yeah.
about. No, that would
That
be
I mean that might
cool.
be cool. It would be.
Yeah. So
There's a lot of ways they could actually do it. It's just nobody has any faith that it'll sell. Superman is, while near invincible, he's not totally invincible. You just have to give him an enemy to fight that can fight him. And he has a
um,
few that are worth a crap.
I think
That is true.
I think one of them would probably have to be magic based because
Mhm.
from what I know so far, he still has a weakness to magic
Yeah.
spells and everything. So that
Sure.
could be a tactic.
Oh,
You
hold
know.
on a second. Hold on a second, Denelli. John Dillard is begging for attention. Hello, John. Hi, how you doing? Nice to have you
Oh,
here.
hi,
I
John.
appreciate you, John. Love John. Love. Primark Sanguinis is also here. Hello, how you doing? We also have in here. I saw someone else that dropped in as well. J-Pod Studio. Hello, how you doing? Yeah, cool. All right, dude. But yeah, they're going to keep doing this until we know what it is. But it's interesting. They keep rumors and then deny, rumor and deny. So,
Right.
next.
So Blue Beetle movie in development. It's being reported. So Warner Brother has hired screenwriter Gareth Dunnett Alcolder to write Blue Beetle movie script. Center on the third Blue Beetle, which is Jamie Reyes, according to the rap.
Oh, cool. That's cool. We were talking about that before the show, actually.
Mm-hmm.
There are how many iterations of Blue Beetle are there? There's two, three. But to be honest with you, my favorite one is the new one with this Jaime. I think it's Jaime Reyes. I like this one. This was a fun rendition of the character. What do you think, Todd?
Well, you're talking about the Young Justice one?
Yeah, I'm talking about the Latino boy, and he gets the alien artifact on him. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because it had a lot more sort of realistic type tied into Egyptian history and stuff like that, right? So I thought that part was cool. Or was it? Yeah, I think it was Egyptian, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So that part, interests me, but I never read any of the comics. I can't say that I have, but I did watch Young Justice.
Yes, that's where I know him from as Young Justice, or the animated stuff. I haven't read a book, but my kids liked it, and I thought it was a cool character. So I'm glad they're actually doing that one. I suppose they could have done the Blue Beetle, the older ones, but that would have been a more Iron Man-esque type of movie, I think.
Right.
So this is a better choice. Yeah. See, now this is doing a legacy, and since they always want to talk about diversity, we can go over to kind of the other side of the things we're always talking about. They're always talking about diversity, but here's a legacy character that carried over into a new type of Blue Beetle, and it was done right. Yeah, they changed it. Yeah, it's a Latino boy. Yeah, they changed the story, but it's done well. It's fun, and that's all we want, right?
Absolutely. So the script was originally being written as a Blue Beetle Booster Gold movie by Greg Berlanti, who's the showrunner of all the CW's movie, and that was 2015. But he has focused solely on Booster Gold at this time.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. What do you guys think about all the just absolute flood of CW superhero movies from DC? I mean, one, it's cool that there's so many superhero stuff on TV. Yeah. But what do you guys think about them? Do you enjoy them? Are they? Yeah. What do you think?
Well, there's not really a lot of DC movie that I enjoy. I mean, I enjoyed The Dark Knight. I enjoy the Christopher Reeve, but the current iterations of the Superman and Batman film hasn't been doing it for me.
Yeah, but what about
And
the CW TV stuff though?
CW, I think the first couple seasons of Arrow I enjoyed. Season 1 and season 2 of Arrow is really strong. Season 1 was very strong for me for Flash, and Legend of Tomorrow was always picking up his stride until like the third season when it just started going bonkers and knew what it was. You know, it's being weird and time travel and goofy. So I enjoyed season 3 and season 4 from them. But lately, it's just been so much campiness that it's not even good campiness. It's cringy campiness.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That was kind of my take on it. What do you think,
Yeah.
Thunder?
Yeah, I agree. I liked the first season of Flash too. I thought it was pretty good. I thought the actor, I can't think of his name now, but the actor who played Reverse Flash did a really good job. Um,
Oh yeah, that's true.
and then I liked Arrow too. I didn't. The problem I had with the second season is they shifted it, the tone of it, really dramatically from the first season. Which was, I mean, that's fine. It's just, it was.
Yeah, have you
just
seen
weird.
season 3 though?
Yeah, I've seen season 3. Yeah.
Killed, yeah.
Yeah. And then I didn't watch season 4 really. I pretty much just stopped watching it. I just lost interest in them. They're too formulaic. They basically always are the same thing, especially Flash. It was really bad in season 3 of Flash. So
Yeah, no, they went the kind of the get woke go broke type of thing, dude. It's really
yeah.
I mean, he's hardly even the superhero. It's all the ladies around him that are doing everything, and it's like, okay, I'm out. But I have to say though that the one thing that I'm very disappointed in is the Supergirl. That could have been really cool. It could have been cool, but they screwed that up straight up. I mean, it was unbelievable how bad that is. I don't know if you guys have watched it. Now, I haven't seen Krypton or anything like that, so I don't know. I've seen Gotham. Yeah, I'm not going to forget it, Dave. I actually like Gotham. I know it's some people over here hate Gotham, but I like it. I think it was. I think it's a fun show. Do you watch any of these things, Todd?
Yeah, I do. I watch Gotham, and I watch Flash. Arrow's a little, he's always fighting in night, and so they hide all the fighting is hidden in darkness and stuff like that. So you don't really get a good, you don't really see what's going on. So it's, to me, that makes it, it makes it less. Like, for instance, Flash fights during the day. All his fights are during the day, so you get to see all the special effects. You get to see what they're doing with the characters, and there's sort of a quality to it that's pleasant. But Arrow, everything happens in alleyways and parking garages, and to me, that's not realistic. So it's always so set up and forced. So I don't like that. But Supergirl, I like. That's all right. I don't mind it.
I can't stand that show, dude. That is just, they really miss an opportunity because they don't understand the character of her. They don't understand, that's a completely different thing. They basically, this is the angsty, not angsty, the kind of silly California girl nonsense, and that's not anything which was in the comic book. So maybe it's just because I'm a comic book fan and that's why I can't stand it, but I don't know. But anyway, speaking of the Daredevil though, Denali, I think we do have some interesting news regarding that, especially because season 3 was so good. It was really good.
Well, it's been canceled, as been reported a couple days ago. But from Deadline, Marvel promised more Daredevil's Avengers after Netflix cancellations.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
but
it doesn't say it's going to Disney Plus, as this article from CBR says. The canceled Marvel shows aren't heading to Disney Plus. Well, it probably would make sense because the Netflix Marvel, it would be the rated R versions of the Marvel movies, and right now they're testing like Deadpool to see if they can make it PG-13. So they're probably trying to figure out, can they make these shows into a PG-13, and it won't be the same thing. But
Dave,
for right, yeah, go
Dave,
ahead.
the man without renewal. Very good, Dave. That's very funny.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, wow, right? I mean,
yeah,
because I get Luke Cage, the Defenders, Jessica Jones and Iron Fist. I get it because those things underwhelmed. They did, particularly Iron Fist and Jessica Jones. I mean, the season one with David Tennant as Purple Man, he was killer, but everything else about it kind of sucked. Iron Fist was poorly done, and Luke Cage, first half of season one, awesome. After that, it's just not great. So I get them canceling that stuff. I get it, but Daredevil just put out a truly amazing season, and you're going to cancel it?
yeah.
I don't get it.
So expect Punisher when they drop it. That's the last season of Punisher, and the same thing for Jessica Jones. They're all going to be canceled. Out of here. Bye bye.
Wow, what do you guys think about that? Them canceling Daredevil, a very successful show like that.
We don't really know how successful it actually was. We know it has fans, but it being on a streaming site, it may not have been had enough viewers to warrant its budget, and there's really no way for us to know it. They don't have to
That's
reduce their ratings or anything.
Yeah.
Right. But you also have to think about it that it's coinciding with Disney starting their Disney Plus streaming strike. So these would be free advertisement for their competitors. And plus, Disney is removing a lot of their Disney products, movies, TV shows, whatever, from Netflix over to Disney Plus.
Yeah, the problem with Disney is they can't get out of their own way. That's their problem. There's too many cooks in the kitchen, right? Because you know what they're probably going to do with this? They're probably canceling this, and then some moron over at Disney is like, you know what? We're going to recast it. We're going to do our own darker, grittier, whatever version of Daredevil. And it's like, dude, this is working. People like this guy. Go with this guy. Go with what's going. You have an amazing Kingpin. I mean, go with what's going on. But I'm telling you, dude, that's what's happening. There's some suit over there at Disney who thinks he has a better idea, and they're going to recast it because Disney does this nonsense all the time, dude.
Yeah, they're not going to do it grittier. They're going to Disneyfy it, kind of like Clone Wars, Star Wars Clone Wars. They canceled it because it was too gruesome for Disney. So that's why we have Rebels, and that's why we have Resistance. And I bet you $100 that coming Clone Wars, the new upcoming Clone Wars, it's either going to be toned down from what it was, because they were in the middle of production of that season, or it'll be straight up, the Disney version of Clone Wars.
Kind of like this stuff they came out with the Resistant Fighters, your racing teams. And everybody was kind of like, huh?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Disney just can't get out of their own way. There is some interesting comments over here in the chat, though. They're talking about the Gotham a little bit and Gotham City PD Blue. I get it, huh? We have Burning One says, we need a voice for Pikachu. Let's get Ryan Reynolds. Yes, I know. I still can't believe that, dude. It's an eyesore. But I have to say, there were a lot of cool trailers at the con, and they did have a lot of trailers for all those CW things, and some of the trailers look really good. The thing that killed me is those trailers for the Godzilla, King of Monsters. Those trailers are killer, dude. I really, really hope that movie is as good as it looks, because if it is, wow, it'll be the best Godzilla movie ever made, dude. Yeah. Let's see here.
I'm just afraid of it being identity politics and heavy progressive ideologues in that film, because
there'll be a touch of it. You can't get away from it. You already saw in one of the trailers they already had a touch of that already.
Yeah.
But will they dwell on it? Probably not.
Yeah.
I think, Jiminy Cricket does say the Netflix Marvel shows would be reduced to a half-hour show and PG-13. Yeah, I'm sure.
Yep.
Yeah, no, he says it's better for Daredevil to get off on a high note. I guess there's something to say for that. Yep. Cool. All right. Well, there's not much for us to say here. I mean, they've been canceled, so let's move on.
Yeah. And then the last news for today. What has the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund ever done for us? The 2018 edition from Bleeding Cool.
Well, what have they done for us? Tell us, because this might be important, world-shattering things. Because it says the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund. That sounds very important.
Let's see. Nothing, 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 nothing. Oh, the rally against about free expression in the community to defend a banned book weeks display in a Mary library after a group of local religious leaders attempted to remove it because it included LGBTQ books. And then Rich had to add, one pastor went so far to say that the books, including the graphic novel My Lesbian Experience with Loneliness and Queer and Illustrated History, should be burned.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
So, but basically, they're doing behind the scenes to help not restrict free speech, but it seems a lot of free speech that they're aiming to protect are more of the progressive side instead of conservative side.
Well, as you know, Denali came down and said nothing, nothing, nothing. There is something, but these are basically nothing. These are little things they spend very little money on. What they really wanted to talk about was the last piece, and I think they probably would have loved to just cut everything else and only talk about that. Can you come down to that picture real quick, please? Let me see that picture of the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund. Now, what do we have here? Be the change. And there's a mother who has a baby whose head is on directly backwards. That is an alien death baby. Okay. Well, no, seriously, it's an alien death baby. Look at it. Look at it. It's coming to get you, man. That's like nightmare inducing. But just look at this stuff. I mean, be the change. Change of what, dude? What are you trying to change?
Right.
And of course, it's all about the gay stuff. Now, here's the thing. I hate the idea of burning books. Don't do that. If you don't like it, don't read it. Keep it away from you. But I also agree with the thing. If you have a book that is found offensive because of your religion and whatever, I think you should have the right to not have it. I think you should have the right to say that you don't like it. This is America, right? That's the way we live here, and it kills me that these people that call themselves liberals are constantly trying to take away liberal rights. Right? Because liberty, liberty is freedom, right? And these people have lost their damn way. And of course, the fact is they're not liberals. They are socialists. They're Marxists. And those people can't stand freedom, can they?
No.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, look. Neil Gaiman is in the advisory board for this charity thing. Yay.
Wow. Yay.
Frank Miller, Jim Lee, Chip Kidd, Matt Groening. Wow. A lot of famous.
Well, he's the Family Guy guy, right?
Right.
Yeah.
No, he's the Simpsons guy.
Simpsons. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and this has been around for a long time, and they have done a lot of good. I don't know what they've done lately, but there was a few guys that got in trouble for pornography and stuff, and their comics weren't really. I mean, they were. It was still art. It was still drawn. So, but it got labeled pornography, and that's where this sort of spun out of. Like, oh, we better help this guy, so we're going to create this. And it was created, I believe, it was created in Northampton, Massachusetts. And that used to be where it was headquarters out of, but I don't know what it's grown into now and what they help, but it did help the milk and cheese guy. He got into a little hot water once. I think Christian Zanier, he got into some hot water once and it helped him out. You know, they just provide legal fees for when you're sort of prosecuted for, you know, being mislabeled or misjudged by your product, and your product, even though it's drawn, it's called pornography and stuff like that.
Right. Which is cool. That is cool. But I think the point that Denali was making is the fact that all the things they listed, they hardly covered it all. But the last thing, they covered a lot. And it's simply showing that that's the agenda they want. And, you know, they wanted to say something negative. It's like I'm sitting over here in Tokyo, and the only thing that's on the news is the BBC, right? And so we have the news on, and the BBC. Those guys can't go more than 5 minutes, and I am not joking. I'm not exaggerating. They cannot go more than 5 minutes about without saying something bad about Trump. It's not even their president. It's not their damn country. But they can't go 5 minutes without saying something negative about Trump, talking about right-wing, horrible Nazis, and basically half of America is what they're talking about, right? And it's just this is this is the thing we see continuing on and on and on. And I think that's the point Denelli was trying to make, was that what they were focusing on, right?
Right. So there wasn't equal focus. There's just here's some stuff we did, less so I can show that I'm not really biased. But here's really stuff that I really was really important what this whole article was about.
Right. Oh yeah, and by the way, John, I did drop a link over in the Twitter if you did want to come in. I didn't know if you were available or not. Kenneth Brown is in here. Hello, Kenneth Brown. He says the idea is fine, and the let me see, the implementation has worked, but the current generation of creators are the problem. Yeah, well, yeah, I think it's a lot of stuff, but I agree. And there was one more news article I'd like you to bring up if you could, Denelli. It's the one regarding the scars, please.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I want to talk about that because I think it ties into exactly what we're talking about right here. Jiminy Cricket wants to know, is Mark Waid on board as well? Probably. Life is Hell, The Simpsons, Futurama. Thank you, Tank.
Yeah. So from
this one. Go ahead.
So from comicbooks.com, British Film Institute will no longer fund movies with villains with scars.
Okay.
So,
why?
So basically, according to the Telegraph, they're trying to advocate for people with disfigurement, which includes scars, marks or conditions to show different appearance. And they're saying, well, we don't want any negative connotations about for those individuals, for, if you have a scar or whatever, because automatically if you have a scar, you're going to be a villain, a no-do-gooder, a rogue,
Okay. Well, what if the villain's fat or short or too tall or an alien or, missing a hand, has a hook per se, or something like that? What are they going to do now? It's
going to be a 6'2", white, blue eyes, blonde hair, male figure that will be the villain.
There you go. It'll be perfect. Yeah. But this is stupid. British Film Institute. You're stupid. Listen to me. Stupid. You know why? Because you're stupid. Just get out of the damn movie business then. Just get out of it. Because if this is the beginning of it, you're gonna have to if this is the road you're gonna take, this identity politics, well, eventually you're gonna have to just nix everything, aren't you? Because there's always a new thing tomorrow. There's always the next thing that they're going to bitch about over and over and over, because they're never satisfied. These people are not satisfied. They are addicted to being angry, and they are addicted to complaining. That is what they are, and you've tied your horse to that, and now you're screwed yourself, because this in no way is good for your future. You do not say, we're not going to have a movie because it has scarred people in it. What is wrong with you? Oh, God. Did I say stupid? Let me say it again. Jeez.
No, it's totally moronic. So, okay, but they're saying that the good guys can have scars. Well, if the good guy has scars, does that make any better? No, it just shows a character trait, just like villains, because now you're saying, when, like Chester was saying, when will it stop? Can he not be fat? Oh, any fat people is going to be the villain. Well, there you go, Mr. Kingpin, because you're fat, you can't be Kingpin anymore. What about if he's bald, Lex Luthor? There you go. You can't be evil anymore, Lex Luthor.
No more. How about redheads? We know how the world thinks about redheads. It is a disadvantage, and they are soulless. Poor redheads. know they're gonna discriminate against the redheads. They always do. They go to it first.
Yep. We
But I
gotta
mean,
we gotta protect the redhead apocalypse from.
we do, man. I
Yeah.
mean, come on, Thundar, man. You got to have an opinion on this. This is so dumb. And this is not coming out of some stupid little Mary Sue thing. This is coming out of the British Film Institute, dude.
It's so dumb. It's hard to have an opinion. It's just mind-numbingly stupid. How can you not? How do they not see that what they're doing is just stereotyping anyway? Because they're saying you can't have a villain with a scar. Well, that means that people with scars are bad because they don't want to. They don't want to represent that because that will make people think, "Hey, people with scars are bad." So in their mind, that's what they're already thinking.
Right.
So stupid.
It's called casual stereotyping.
Yeah.
Kind of like casual racism and casual stereotyping.
Mhm.
So.
Yeah, no, it's like the other day, right? I don't know why when I was mentioning it, but the other day I mentioned about how as a teacher, I'll get some teachers that'll come in or I'll work with, and they always talk to the elementary school kids like they're two. Oh, hi, my name is, and they just do this in absolutely inane, disrespecting the kids' intelligence completely. And I always tell them, stop, dude, don't do that, dude. Respect the kids. They are smarter than you think you are. And that's what they're doing here. They're assuming we're a bunch of 2-year-olds that it cannot do for ourselves and must be done for. Right. And that's why it's infuriating. And that's why I want to punch the screen, but I won't because it's expensive and it's my son. So I shall not destroy property.
Right. But the thing is basically we have to continue voting with our wallets and not supporting these changes. And the only way they're going to listen and the only way that investors are going to look at it is money. Are you making money? And if you're not making money, then investors are quickly going to either tell the boards to get rid of all these people with these ideas, or they're going to pull out their money and the company's going to suffer. So,
well, hopefully, once again, we've mentioned this before, and I think in the long run that will be true, Denali. But the problem is we're dealing with socialists here, and I know I've said this several times, but the fact is those people hate money. They hate capitalism. They are the anti-capitalist, right? So they're I mean, it's like we talk about these Marvel pros, right? We mentioned the standard ones like Mags and Saju and stuff, but they live in utter poverty, right?
No,
and they're
those are the mid levels. You got to think higher. You got to think of the board of directors. Regardless of what they espouse, they want money. And if you hurt the people on the top with their money, they're going to react accordingly.
I hope so.
I don't think that's true anymore. I think the mind virus has infected these people so badly they don't care. They're complete zealots. You see these companies have been going out of business. You see shows getting canceled. You see them losing money all over the place.
Yep.
It's bad. And
it is.
They refuse to acknowledge it, and they refuse to acknowledge it because they're zealots. They're blinded by their zealotry.
Silicon Valley, it is. Silicon Valley is an absolute cesspool.
But you know what? It offers opportunity as well, because if they're zealot, they don't care for money and their business are going out. While there's opportunity for other people who are very rational, who are very savvy to enter those voids. So, while we're seeing these institutions crash and burn, these are opportunity for other new businesses, that are pro-capitalist, who are pro common sense to flourish. And
yeah, I get what you're saying, Denali, and I love your enthusiasm and your sense of hope, and that is wonderful, dude. But you got to take a look at the world, okay? You have Donald Trump sitting in the White House fighting for capitalism, right? Saying that, hey, if you want to call me a nationalist, go right ahead. Which there's nothing wrong with being a nationalist, right? But now look what Europe is responding to him. They are saying nationalism is not patriotism; it's evil. They're going on and on and on and on, right? And of course, the simple fact of the matter is, nationalism is not politically leaning in any one direction by definition. You have had socialist nationalists, we call them Nazis, right? You have had other type of nationalists that have done bad things, but nationalism in and of itself is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. We have found that countries who embrace nationalism as in pride in their country and focus on their country first are more wealthy and more happy countries. It's just the reality. And that's all
Right.
Trump is doing, and the most normal thing. But look at the pushback at the highest level, dude. The highest level. These people are being
Right.
funded by huge money, and they are going full socialist, and they are actually saying things like nationalism, capitalism, things that have made our modern world come to fruition, where we're sitting with electricity, TVs, computers. All this stuff is here because of capitalism, because of nationalism, and they're trying to tear it down at the highest level, Denelli. The highest level, dude.
Right. Again, it offers opportunity because
Okay.
you are still going to have people who are who has pride to be an American or any other country that you're origin of. That's called patriotism.
No, I agree.
And-
I agree. And I'm happy
and-
we have America, a place that you can still do that.
Right.
Because in Europe, they're taking those rights away, dude.
Right.
And we have to fear that in America, because these Democrats who have control of the Congress, what doesn't mean anything because the Senate will never let it go. But these Democrats in America, they want to take all our freedoms away. They do. They want to make us just like Europe. They want to take away the opportunity to do exactly what you're saying. So I want to be happy and positive like you, and I hope that the future will be that way. But there are a lot of people who are actively working against it, dude. I know we've jumped way past comic books, but it
Right.
is directly
But
linked.
again, there's also people who are actively countering that as well. So there's two sides of everything. And
True.
your pessimism is not really helping. You're just demoralizing people.
Am I being
Yeah.
realistic and therefore looking at it in a more scientific and way that would be more successful?
No, because the way you're saying is you're saying, I wish you had the optimism, saying that my ideals are not realistic, instead of saying, those instead of saying, hey, I get it, and moving on. But right now you're trying to persuade me that saying, no, it isn't.
No, and I honestly, I don't want to persuade you. You keep your starry-eyed look, man. I like you optimistic. That's
Yes,
why
I
you're
like
Denali.
I like Denali's. Hello, everyone.
Hey.
And I do like Denali's optimistic outlook. But the thing is, there are people right now in these industries that are losing their jobs. They're losing money that and the characters that they are changing. They're killing these characters. It's something that has to be done about it now, before it dies, and before these small grassroots replacements can get there. It's going to be a big drop off before that happens.
That's true. Yeah, but hopefully what we're doing here, this revival that is going on, will continue into the future. And I agree with you on that in that regard, Denelli. I'm not being pessimistic. I'm just being realistic as to what is going on. But I have high hopes for the future. And I did talk to a bunch of people at the Tokyo Comic Con yesterday and the day before, a bunch of artists actually, and I got a few of them I'm going to bring on the show that have no affiliation with what we do at all. But I'm going to bring them on because I talked to them a little bit about, how the industry is doing. And one thing that they all agreed on, all of them, was that there is an amazing indie revival going on right now, and they want to be part of it. And so that is a good point. Yeah.
And that's where I'm leading up to is, we can't control what other people do, with all this, but we can control what's in front of us. And what we do in this movement, this reconstruction of comics, this indie revival, as we're saying, this new renaissance, we can continue promoting and building it up. And that's how you start. You start small and you build it brick by brick to the point that it can't be stopped. It's all about momentum, and that's what we're building, momentum. And it's going to push through. Yes, there's going to be a lot of changes. Yes, there's going to be a lot of pushback, but people are waking up to the fact. It doesn't seem like it, but slowly and surely people are waking up to the fact. We had at the beginning Star Wars saying, hey, the Phantom Menace, they're a small minority, to the point where now these articles who shills for Disney and CBS. The comicbook.com is owned by CBS. Are backtracking and saying, a lot of disgruntled backlash, are starting to acknowledge this because we do not give up and we move forward one step at a time, and that's one thing for us as Americans. And I'll just speak as an American. We don't give up on anything. We continue to move forward until we succeed. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm pushing for, because these comics are an American institution and we created this form of genre with the comics. And
it is true.
We are going to move forward brick by brick, step by step, people by people, until we finally succeed.
Yeah, no, and I do agree with that. And the Burning One over here says, please don't bring up the war on communism. No, there's no need for a history lesson, dude. But at the same time, he also says India is the big thing right now. Yes, you are right. Like I said, I talked to a bunch of artists yesterday, and they all are very excited what's going on with that. It has gone beyond what we are doing. Like I said, this all started as Comicsgate, right? And it certainly is quickly moving beyond that. And these guys I talked to, they're not Comicsgate. They're not at all. They have no affiliation to anything, or maybe even know exactly what we're doing. But those dudes see what's going on. They want part of it. So it's spreading. It is spreading.
Right. So we have to hold true to that and move forward and continue promoting those talents in the comics. So we want to read in the books that means value to us. And that's the only way we're going to succeed.
No, true. Cool. Well, interesting conversation got going on there.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun. Hi, John. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you, Chester, for having me on.
Oh, no problem, dude. If if you're interested in being on the show when you have an opportunity, you can just come over and join our FanSpeak Discord, and you get the link anytime.
Oh, I got to do that.
Yeah, you should.
I don't have Discord yet on my actual laptop, but yeah. I mean, a lot of these conversations are really fantastic.
Yeah, they are, and you're more than welcome. And same thing with Manny too. I know you guys, your timing and scheduling is not always easy, but yeah, you guys just become part of our FanSpeak Discord, and you can jump in when you can. That's please do. But yeah, thanks for joining us over here. And do you get a vote?
Just kidding. I'm kidding.
No, I guess not. I'm sorry, dude. I guess this part of it's not democratic. Chester is biased and he makes decisions. So, but yeah, let's go ahead and go across the board and let everybody give their final statements or anything they want to say today, and we'll let Denali take it off after that. So go ahead, Todd. Start it out. Say what you want to say to the folks.
Well, I just put up some t-shirt designs on sellmytees.com of Ignition. So hopefully, and my first customer was Denali, by the way, which really got me going. So if you guys know my Twitter account at Marooney Todd, I'll be posting some links right to my store, and hopefully you guys will get in early so that you show me your support. And maybe we can do something special for the Christmas.
Sweet. Sounds good, man.
Yep.
Go ahead, John. You're next.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, for those, this is my first time on this show, actually. So my name is John, and I have a channel called John Dillard Gaming the System. And I do want to thank everyone for joining and listening. And we do have a really strong independent community that we're trying to build up here. And we really appreciate all of you and all the support that we've been shown and given. And that's all I got to say about that. I appreciate you for having me on. Thank you very much, Chester.
Oh, no problem, dude. Anytime. Thundaro, sir.
Chester. Mm-hmm. Well, I want to say it looked like you had a really good time at Tokyo Comic Con yesterday, especially with the Godzilla stuff. I also am really looking forward to the Godzilla stuff, and I think we should consider doing a little bit of Godzilla content here in the near future.
Sure.
I'm a huge Godzilla fan. It's pretty much
me
that
too, dude.
Star Trek were my childhood. So, but anyway, that aside, anybody listening, anybody watching, like John just said, we're building a nice, really strong community here. It's just kind of happening naturally. We all seem to pretty much get along with each other. I think we need to all lean on each other a little bit. Sometimes things get a little hard. Sometimes life gets a little down. But you can always find people who will listen, find people just to hang out with and have a good time. So try to remember that, because there's one thing that's true for every human being alive. Life's going to end one day, so don't take it so seriously.
This is true. Very true. Yeah. Well, yeah. Thank you guys for joining us as always. We really do appreciate it. I see Cat's in here. Hello, Cat. Pixel as well as over here and linking. Nice to see you, Pixel. But yeah, no, we appreciate you guys coming in all the time, and we do have great conversations in here with each other. We have some great interviews. We had a killer interview yesterday with Johnny Allen from Stickman. That was a really great interview, and we enjoy what we're doing, having fun. And of course, one of the interesting things, if you might notice, is we all don't agree. We can disagree on things, but you know what? We can have a conversation. We can debate it, and we're still friends and happy at the end of the day. And this is one thing that we see a lot of people on the internet can't do. So this is a place where we can have those kind of conversations. And keep in mind, as you see, this panel is sitting up here. If you want to come up and give your opinion, interact with us and chat and see what see what you have to say, and see how we interact with it, please do, man. We have links down below to my Facebook and my Twitter. Go over there and say, Chester, put me on the show, and I'll do it, dude. We want you to come over here, and this is called Fan Speak for a reason, guys. So please interact and come on over here and have some fun with us and have some debate and conversation. And we're really looking forward to everybody who wants to come in and do that. But that's enough for me today. I have a lot of things to do running around Tokyo, and I'm going to throw it over here to Denali and let him take us out.
All right. Then tomorrow we're also going to be at 6 p.m. Eastern, since
Yes.
Because Chester's still at Tokyo. I think we're going to be with Brad, Pencil for Life, tomorrow, talking about.
Yes.
We're going to talk about upcoming books. So we're going to be experimenting as well. So we're going to do the comics news today, and then we're going to talk about upcoming books as well. And we hope that you're there. Yes, we're definitely going to talk about Godzilla. I'm thinking of maybe having a panel maybe in the future about rewatching all the Godzilla movies and doing commentary as we watch. You know, we're not going to show it, but we'll play it in the background in our own devices, and we can make commentary. And you guys can follow along and watch it with us. And we say play, everybody play, and we'll watch it. So it might be fun. So we'll try to coordinate that with you guys.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah, but as always, thank you for joining us. Hit that like button if you haven't, and the subscribe button if you haven't as well, and the share button as well. So, as always, your perception shapes your reality, so always make it a good one.
All right, guys. Namaste. Later.
Aloha.